Hello, Virgo. Go ahead and see what is ahead of you. Virgo. Messages for Virgo. Three of Swords in reverse. You are trying to get over a heartbreak. Celtic Cross. Virgo. Let me just go ahead and put this all out. Oh, Jesus. Do you feel a lack of support? You don't feel like you're supported at all, that nobody's behind you or has your back. You feel like you're on your own somehow and you're trying to diligently work and be as productive as possible with what you're given. You feel like you want to move towards or away. It's really just taking it as it comes. You're dealing with it, even though it sucks and you feel unsupported. You're trying to come out of this heartbreak and still keep working, and it is a kind of heartbreak and betrayal because, you know, when you're not supported by the people that you feel that you should, it does hurt. But, you know, whether it be, but sometimes it's also about a matter of perspective on what kind of expectations that you have on people as to what they should be doing for you or how they should show up for you, because usually it's those expectations in our life that we have that are the things that disappoint us. Whatever this was, it was built on the foundation of a Six of Pentacles. Like, you feel like you were giving to this situation, that there was a time where somebody needed you or needed your help, and you helped and supported them. And maybe you expected that kind of same support back, or your expectation of, or that idea of what that support would be definitely differed from the person that you once supported in the past. Now, in the past, the Empress in reverse. Now, the Empress in reverse is someone who has money issues, someone who was having trouble with their finances. There could have been, you know, some kind of disloyalty in some way, that somebody was not really nurturing towards the situation, or even yourself. You didn't feel nurtured or abundant yourself. And perhaps you got into a situation because of financial reasons, or you felt like you needed some kind of support in some way, or, you know, it was like a relationship of convenience where you guys both kind of helped each other out financially due to the, like, financial restrictions or constrictions. Now, what is above you, your goals and your conscious awareness, the best that can be accomplished at present. It sucks which is 9 of Pentacles in reverse. You still feel tied to something that you don't feel supported by. Maybe because you feel like you can't do it on your own. This is like coming from a space of lack. This can denote codependency. You feel tied to a situation that you don't feel supported and you feel that emotionally hurt you in some way, or it's definitely a lack of emotional fulfillment, but yet you're still working on it or trying to work on it in some way or regard. And it's like you expect some kind of help or support, or somebody expects that from you, but you feel tied to it in a codependent way. And in the past, there was definitely a lack of nurturing, whatever this was, whether it be a job or a relationship, or possibly a mother situation. Like, this could also be a mother who is not nurturing themselves. Like, if you have a controlling or toxic mother or a mother figure around you, whether it be sisters, aunts, grandparents, or mother, matriarch in some regard, or even like a female boss, like someone who is ultra controlling and somebody who wants to come back around and continue to work on something and expects you to put the work in some regard still, and you don't feel like you want to put the work in anymore because you never really felt supported by this person. And it's like you are putting the work in on things that could actually bring some kind of fruition, and you're done offering support for people that doesn't do that for you, especially with people who have an expectation and only come around when they need something. Or perhaps you feel tied to a situation that is kind of toxic, and you both have some kind of expectations in some way off of each other, and you were tied to it for a really long time because of financial reasons or codependency, or afraid of being alone in some regard. On top of that, and maybe it all tied in together, like this lack of finances brought insecurity, this insecurity brought suspicion, and it became a constant burden, the feeling of having this lack of support, but also accepting other people's day-to-day responsibilities, or you. And it seems like you are now putting your energy in things that actually has some kind of payoff or fruition for you, because in the past it doesn't look like it was. It was just a fear of not being able to make it on your own or not being enough. And when you come out of lack, of the energy of lack, you tend to work twice as hard, and you don't ever seem to get more payoff. It's like, it's like the more money that you make, the more bills that you have, and nothing ever seems to balance out because you're always in that fear of not having enough. So whatever comes in on the future is temperance. This notes balance. In the past, this was really unbalanced situation. It was not conducive towards the other, whether it even be a toxic boss or a mother or sister or relationship, or working together in somehow like a joint venture, or even a wife, or girlfriend. It could be any regard, or it could even be a husband, even, like, this doesn't really specify gender, this specifies energy. And let's say you have a man whore husband who sleeps around a lot and always spends your money and never has money and sticks around because they're codependent on you. It could be a female too, it could be your wife or girlfriend. No matter what it is, you're no longer putting the work in because you don't feel the same kind of support. And whatever you're no longer putting work and energy in, that kind of, it's going to bring you back in balance. It's going to bring you back into your intuition and your emotional balance and, like a steady state of mind. Although it looks bad, it's freeing to get away from this, because it's like you kept on giving and giving and giving, and this person just kept on taking and taking and taking. You see the Six of Pentacles, giving, 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 taking, 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 Nine of Pentacles in reverse. It's like, whoever this was, they had a hole in their pocket, and no matter how much you gave to this situation, it's like it all just kind of ran out, and it became like a huge burden. And you're no longer doing this. You're no longer paying for this person's bills, or maybe they're not doing this for you. They're no longer wanting to be, maybe you're no longer wanting to be miserable in a situation just for tangible reasons, or because you feel bound and scared. And it's kind of like getting over this codependency and fear of doing it alone, because the state that this was in, so like at this time, which is so bad that you had to get out of it, and it did save you. Temperance, this could be a card of Sagittarius. This also is like your guardian angel that comes and puts things back into balance that was in balance before. Like your saving grace. And even though it's hard at first, it was needed and necessary. And yeah, it was like rejection was God's protection in this regard. Now, the King of Wands came out sideways. So this is how you see yourself. So Virgo, you feel like you're having trouble manifesting. You're just like the wheels. You keep on putting work in, work in, work in. The wheels are turning, turning, turning. But like it's stuck in the mud, and all it does is put strain on the engine, and you don't get the result that you want. Perhaps this is like Mercury retrograde, like putting a stall on things, or holding things up, and it feels like that whatever you try to do, it's not giving you the desired result, and you're having trouble manifesting, and it's making you a bit discouraged. And how people see you on the outside of you, going within yourself, the Hermit. Going within, having a dark night of the soul. This is like you are reconsidering and about the people that you have in your life, your relationships, what to do, why did things turn out this way. It's kind of like you are taking time out alone, and you are not communicating, and you're not open to this anymore, because maybe they're even trying to come in and try to say that they want to work on things, because, or maybe you're doing that with someone, because there is still a sense of codependency. And I feel like you're closing, they see you as closed off. This is your card, Virgo. Someone, I see, it's like you're self-isolating right now. You're no longer communicating with the situation, and you are keeping to yourself. You're going within. Your hopes and fears of not having enough. This is lack mentality. You are trying to maintain everything that you have. You're trying to cling on to everything that you have because you don't feel like you have enough. You may feel like you are having trouble, like monetary trouble. You know, maybe there is some big expenses, or, you know, like you didn't get a certain payout for something that you thought you did. There could have been a job loss where you walked away from a job that wasn't paying you what you were worth and kind of taking advantage of you, and you pulled yourself away for some kind of balance, and now you're worried about, you know, all how you're going to support yourself. And it's a fear of losing, and it's holding on, and this is lack. Whatever that happens, in some way, it was put back into the balance. Like things were unbalanced in some way, even though it feels like a loss, like perhaps in some way you were given more in some regard and the other person wasn't, or vice versa, or it was taken from you. And this is like, I don't know, this is justice kind of in some way. It's not the justice card, but whatever was in balance is definitely in balance now. And I don't know how that is, or what worked out in some regard that will be up ahead in the future. Maybe with somebody who was kind of leeching off of you, or expected you to keep giving because, or coming back to work with you because they are trying to balance themselves out. You kind of balance yourself out by stepping away from this person, because this person has like they're going through a lot of issues. They're going through financial trouble. And it's kind of why you stuck to this situation for as long as they did, or they stuck to you. I don't know which, vice versa. And you fear that you're going to lose everything that you have left, that you're not going to have enough. And you hope to keep everything that you have, and you're trying to maintain it. And you hope that you can maintain it, but you're getting worried that you can't. You know, there was some kind of financial loss here, or somebody was siphoning money off of you, or wanted to, because they were going through a financial loss, and you're holding on to everything that you got. Because, like, whatever situation that you put time, energy, and tangible resources in, it just seemed like it was like trying to fill up a bucket full of water with a giant gaping hole in it. It just keeps on pouring through, you know. Now, the outcome, what you will gain from this experience, the reward or quality or tool that will help you achieve a breakthrough. 3 of Cups. Trying to keep a positive outlook, trying to come out of a negative situation by remaining positive. There might be a reunion coming up. Maybe there's a family reunion, or a reunion with somebody you haven't seen in a really long time. Maybe this person is going to come in and wants to reunite with you because they're having money issues. But it's like you kind of see them now for what they are, or who they were. It's like before a 7 of Cups, this is like a gaslighter. This is someone who tends to gaslight you, projects, you know, confuses you. This is a person who pulls the wool over your eyes to get what they want. Someone who can be kind of exploitative. When it's in reverse, it's like the fog is clearing, and you could kind of see what was being hidden, who they really were, and how they never really intended on giving back in any way. They just kind of always just took what they wanted whenever they were able, despite what it would do to the other person, without any kind of intention on giving back to the situation. And this person always just comes around and wants to reunite with you because they feel that, or even expects you to take care of them in some way. They expect you to take care of them in some way because you always have, and you're thinking that you're doing this out of love, and they're asking you because they care about you and they would do the same for you, but it never really ended up to be that way. It just ended up to be like, oh, you kept giving and giving and giving. They kept taking and taking and taking, and they made you feel bad about it whenever you didn't give, or whatever you gave was never enough. And perhaps it was like a guilt trip kind of thing that kept you in this situation, or you felt guilty in some regard. I don't know, but this is gaslighter. This is a gaslighter. This is someone who's in lack. This is someone who is, who can be exploitative, manipulative, uses people, someone who doesn't take care of themselves or people around them. If this was a toxic mother situation who you're raised in gaslighting, you're kind of bringing yourself back into balance by staying away from this, because it looks like there's some bad decisions made whatever way this person showed up within your life, mother or father, brother, sister, aunt, job, boss. They're wanting to come back and work with you because they're in lack, because they're trying to get what they always got from you, but you're not giving it anymore because it's like you could see what's going on. And you are trying to, it's self-preservation at this point, because if they always come and feed on you, and you're like a rabbit's den with your bunnies, you're not going to invite the wolf in for tea, like what's below, Queen of Wands. What's driving this? What is underneath what you're not seeing is the Queen of Wands. If this is a partner, perhaps this is someone who was unfaithful as well, who had a third party in some regard, or, who betrayed you. Maybe this was a group dynamic of women who were kind of feeding off of you and using your abilities, your tangible powers, your tangible wealth for their benefit by keeping you in place and making you work and taking all your responsibilities. I don't know. If this is a third party, this could be a third party outside of your relationship or friendship group that there was like gaslighting, there was like a crap talking in some way. There was some kind of manipulation around these women. But they saw you as abundant, and that's why they always came around you. And now that you're keeping yourself away from them, you're no longer accepting their karma, their responsibilities, their burdens, so they could feed off of you and enjoy the luxuries that you can provide with your hard work. now you're able to use all of that energy, this tangible wealth, this manifestation powers for yourself. The Queen of Wands is someone who is also quite psychic. She's like the witch of the trope, you know. She can be an occultist, but she has great manifestation powers. She has psychic abilities with this, along with this cat here. She's very, you know, or it's someone who is very creative, has in touch with the divine in some way, and was given some kind of creative abilities, whether it be manifestation or creative abilities. But you have great manifestation powers, and that's why they clung to you. That's why they try to work on you, and that's why maybe they even isolated you or made you feel like you didn't have support, or, you know, you could never make it on your own, because it behooved them to keep you stuck and to use your resources for themselves. But it's like you see who they are now. Like the mask is slipped, the fog has cleared, and you see them as a bunch of users and who only wants to come around for, you know, because they want or need something from you that they could give two shits about if you ever need anything else. Because the moment you ever needed anything, which a lot of times, you know, you didn't, or you did, but yet you didn't ask, because maybe unconsciously you knew that they weren't going to come through for you. They never did come through for you, and they made you feel bad about asking. So it's like, whatever, hoes, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm holding back. You know. And I'm going to use my manifestations for myself. But these people are very, I have a very, like, energy of users, you know. Vampires. Wow. Like, yo, this isn't even like, they're all upright. That's weird. I don't even read upside down with oracle cards. What? I don't know if I even should, but I guess I'll read it both ways. This is your advice. So somebody wants to come in and be flexible with you. Maybe it's universe saying that you need to be flexible. There's a need to take things as it comes. Don't try to control things. I know it's really hard when it comes to Virgos to do that. It's like telling a Scorpio or Taurus not to control things, or a Capricorn or Aries is like, forget about it. But, you know, try to release control. There's going to be some kind of ending, and it's important to just take it as it kind of comes, because the ending is just like you're putting an end to it, or somebody's putting an end. I feel like you are. I feel like you're putting an end to it. And it's important to just take things as it comes, even though you feel like you're at a loss, or, you know, you're afraid of doing it on your own in some regard. Staying away from this is kind of your best bet, and it will be your overall happiness. This says not for you in reverse. I don't know if someone wants to come in and say they want to work with you, but, you know, they're like, oh, you know, this is for you. We'll be collaborative. We'll work on it together, blah, 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 you know. And they're like, this is for you. It'll work out both for the best of us. You know, I don't think it's fated. I don't think it's meant to be. You know, this is something that you're meant to move away from, because once you move away from it, the fate in reverse equals balance. And your balance, once you're in balance, you don't think emotionally about this situation. You see things as it is. And, you know, earth signs, you are really good at that. You take things at cost, you see the evidence, and then you make a decision that this is not something that you want to work on. And the fact that you made this decision that, you know, you're better off being on trying to make balance within yourself than within a toxic situation, and you're not going to take the jump into dealing with this or their karma, and you're holding back, which would ultimately lead you to healing and your own spiritual path. It's like these people were holding you back, or this person or situation was holding you back from going towards your own spiritual path. And it's not just about the tangible within this lifetime. It's also about your spiritual liberation, your spiritual enlightenment, because you could have all the tangible stuff in the world, but stuff doesn't make you happy, and neither does money. And the way that you find true happiness is when you have that true happiness within yourself and you feel like you have everything that you need, regardless of the tangible things around you or how much money that you have in your bank. That's the thing that's going to bring you true happiness and celebration. This is not nurturing this situation. This is seeing things for how it is, and seeing people, meeting them where they are. And if they are takers, you just give back that same energy into taking back your own energy. I'm not saying take from them if they took from you. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying take your energy back from them if they just come around and just take your energy, and that will lead you to your celebration and happiness and times for celebration and reunions with soulmates, non-karmic. Well, we're all karmic if you think about it, but not all, but majority of the relationships that we have in our life that is significant are always karmic. But there's good karma and there's bad karma. It's because really it's just energy, you know? It's like, it's that energy backlog from this life and the past. And you want to give out good to get good. You know what I mean? And you want to nourish and feed and protect yourself just as you would someone you love. And that's bringing back good karma to yourself. You don't continually feed yourself to wolves and offer up a limb every time they're hungry, because there would be nothing left of you. And that's what's going to lead to your ultimate happiness, is not letting your emotions fog your thinking, no longer nurturing the situation. And it will lead you to your healing and your spiritual path and a start to your own spiritual journey and awakening, and which could actually show you what actual real fulfillment and happiness is. And we're all trying to get there and attain it, because that's the point within this life. It's spiritual liberation. You know, it's moksha. I feel that this is definitely karmic. There was a karmic backlog within the relationship, but karma spent, lessons learned. It's time to move on from this situation, and it's time to reclaim your gifts by not offering it out to people who don't deserve it and who have no intention on giving back to you. But that's what I have for you, Virgo. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment below, donation box below, the comment section if you feel moved to do so. If not, I still love you lots, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.